Hey guys, it's part 2 of episode 9, so before watching this you should watch episode 9 part 1 first, so you can understand the whole story. Now let's start part 2. Brian stood in silence, unable to shake the Guardian's final words. Without another glance, the Guardian turned and walked deeper into the ancient chamber, inviting Brian to follow. With every step the Guardian took, glowing constellation patterns awakened beneath his feet. The chamber itself seemed to recognize its ancient keeper. Brian hesitated for only a moment. Then, setting aside his fear, he followed the Guardian toward the glowing platform. Together they reached the center of the ancient circle. Vast celestial symbols slowly revolved around them, as though the chamber itself had become a map of the universe. The Guardian calmly raised his hand. Tiny blue sparks of cosmic energy gathered above his palm, moving with perfect harmony under his command. The scattered lights merged into a miniature galaxy, its glowing stars and spiraling arms slowly turning in the air, as if an entire universe had been placed in the Guardian's hand. Brian could only stare in amazement. Every answer he had searched for suddenly seemed far beyond the world he had always known. The tiny galaxy expanded into a breathtaking projection that filled the chamber with countless stars, distant worlds, and endless constellations. For the first time, Brian witnessed the true scale of the cosmos. Reflections of galaxies shimmered in Brian's eyes. In that moment, the life he had known as an ordinary young man began to fade before a far greater destiny. The Guardian looked across the endless universe surrounding them and spoke quietly. Your story did not begin on Earth. It began among the stars. The endless stars shifted as a single blue world drifted to the center of the chamber. It glowed with a beauty unlike anything Brian had ever seen. The Guardian raised his hand toward the distant planet. Long before humanity looked to the stars, this world stood as their protector. The planet slowly turned, revealing vast oceans, towering crystal mountains, glowing forests, and magnificent cities that seemed centuries beyond anything Earth had ever built. Brian watched in stunned silence. Every new landscape made the impossible feel more real, as though he were witnessing a forgotten chapter of history. Above the world, glowing figures began appearing one after another. Ancient guardians stood watch over the civilization, their presence filling the chamber with quiet power. One guardian stepped forward from the light. His armor resembled Orion's, yet it carried the weight of an age long lost, while his face remained hidden within shadow. Brian instinctively reached for the triskelion at the center of the back of his neck. As it glowed with a soft blue-white light, he felt an ancient connection awaken within him. The Guardian extended his hand. Though they never touched, streams of cosmic energy flowed between them, as if a forgotten legacy had finally found its rightful heir. Watching the silent exchange, the Guardian spoke with complete certainty. You were never chosen by chance. The ancient Guardian dissolved into countless stars that rushed toward Brian before fading into the light. The Guardian looked at him and quietly declared, You are the last heir of a forgotten legacy. The peaceful world was suddenly consumed by darkness. Crimson storms swallowed the sky as the ground trembled beneath a force older than memory. The magnificent cities fell into chaos. Crystalline towers collapsed, families fled in terror, and waves of dark cosmic energy swept across the civilization. Without hesitation, the ancient guardians rose into the heavens. Their armor blazed with blue cosmic light as they formed a final line of defense above their dying world. Far beyond the planet, a colossal shadow emerged from a massive cosmic rift. Its true form remained hidden, but its burning blue eyes watched the universe with terrifying purpose. Blue cosmic energy erupted from the Guardians, colliding with an endless tide of darkness. The heavens themselves seemed to shake beneath the fury of their final battle. Brian stared in disbelief. These were not visions or illusions. They were memories, preserved across countless ages for someone destined to witness them. The Guardian lowered his eyes, his voice heavy with sorrow. They fought until the very end. One by one, the Guardians fell. Their bodies dissolved into brilliant blue starlight, while the world they had sworn to protect disappeared beneath the flames of war. A tear rolled down Brian's face as the last Guardian vanished into the stars. For the first time, he truly understood the price of the legacy now resting upon him. The battlefield faded, leaving only silence, darkness, and scattered stars. Turning to Brian, the Guardian said, "When the last Guardian fell, the legacy waited for someone worthy to carry it again." The echoes of the ancient battle faded into silence. Once again, only Brian and the Guardian remained within the timeless chamber. Brian lowered his head, struggling beneath the weight of everything he had witnessed. The truth was greater than anything he had ever imagined. Stepping closer, the Guardian gently placed a hand on Brian's shoulder. It was not the touch of a commander, but of someone who understood the burden before him. Brian finally found the courage to ask the question that had been growing inside him since the beginning. "Why me?" The chamber answered with only silence. The Guardian met Brian's eyes with quiet certainty. "Because the legacy chose your heart before it ever chose your strength." Those words settled deep within Brian. For the first time, he understood that the path ahead would be defined not by power alone, but by the choices he made. At that moment, the triskelion at the center of the back of Brian's neck shone brighter than ever before. Gentle blue light spread through the chamber as the ancient legacy finally recognized its rightful heir. Ancient symbols carved into the chamber walls awakened together, glowing after centuries of silence. The temple itself seemed to welcome Brian at last. A faint smile crossed the Guardian's face. Looking at Brian with quiet pride, he said, "The time has finally come." A colossal stone doorway slowly opened, releasing a blinding blue-white cosmic light that flooded the chamber. Brian and the Guardian stood in silent anticipation, knowing that beyond the threshold waited the beginning of a new destiny. Together, Brian and the Guardian walked toward the colossal doorway. Blue-white cosmic light poured into the ancient chamber, washing away every shadow as Brian took his first steps toward the destiny awaiting him. They crossed the threshold in silence. Behind them, the chamber disappeared into darkness, while the brilliant light ahead welcomed Brian into a world beyond anything he had ever known. The light faded, revealing an immense hidden sanctuary. Floating stone platforms drifted through the air, rivers of blue cosmic energy flowed between towering ancient structures, and constellations shimmered overhead as though the heavens themselves had been brought inside. Brian slowly turned, unable to believe what stood before him. Every direction revealed another impossible wonder, and with each passing moment, the universe seemed far larger than he had ever imagined. At the heart of the sanctuary stood a gigantic circular pedestal, surrounded by immense floating rings of glowing blue energy. Even in complete stillness, it radiated the power of countless generations. The Guardian raised his hand toward the ancient monument and said quietly, "This is where every Guardian was born, and where every Guardian was tested." His words echoed through the sanctuary like a forgotten promise. Brian drew a steady breath and stepped forward. The uncertainty that had followed him for so long gave way to quiet determination as he accepted the path before him. The sanctuary awakened in response. The floating rings began to rotate around the pedestal, while streams of blue cosmic energy rose into the air as if the ancient power itself had been waiting for Brian's arrival. Standing before the pedestal, Brian looked into the brilliant blue light reflected in his eyes. He said nothing, but in that silent moment, his fear gave way to resolve. Brian placed his hand upon the ancient pedestal. In an instant, an enormous pillar of blue-white cosmic light erupted upward, engulfing him completely as the Guardian watched without a word. And within that blinding radiance, the legend of Orion was about to begin.
Episode 10 will be coming soon. Until then, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Instagram page. And turn on notifications, so you never miss an episode.